Let's get past this stuff here on the internet. Put that on pause. 2. Artist in recovery. Nanu. And live long and prosper. Yeah. 1:11 in the morning, West Coast time. It's the 3rd of April, 2024. You're tricky out here in the West Coast. I don't know. How does anybody know I'm a Trekkie? Shh. Romulan spies all over the place. Yeah, what's going on, dude? You're traipsing into my territory half the time anyway. Despite the usual politics and its usual brand of poison that we're constantly drinking up left and right. And if it's not the fact that my channel is usually the diary of a griever named John Weaver, which is me, now you're crossing into the realms of quantum theory, quantum physics, multiple dimensions, and everything else. Isn't it grand? Yeah, well, okay, enough of that one. It's too damn early in the morning for this stuff, and my body's still pleading with me. Why am I up this morning? Well, let's put down to earth here real fast, shall we? For some of us, we'll actually have to deal with on-time payments to certain people out there that require money to keep a roof over the head. Well, I had to do that this morning. See, last month, I screwed up. About 20 days into it, I realized I didn't pay the damn rent. Now, something happened on that in that time period, that first few days. Then I don't know what the hell happened to me. Honest to God, I don't know what the hell happened. And I forgot about the rent. Now, my mother had drilled it into me and my brother. Every month, pay your damn rent. You gonna keep the roof over the head? Pay the rent. Every first of the month, or close to it, pay the rent. And what did I do? I screwed up last month. Oh man, did I eat it on that one? Oh man, oh, I was having kittens. No, I wasn't having kittens. I was having tribbles over this one. I was at complete red alert on that one. I mean, it's like phasers set to scramble persons' molecules. Yeah, well, my phasers are in a box in here, disassembled, so I'm not bringing out the kit. And I panicked. I full went out on a panic on this one, dude. I mean, I didn't know whether or not if they're going to be kicking me out because I'd missed 1 month. But the thing is, they add an additional charge to it when you forget. And I didn't want to forget this time. I didn't want to pay that extra charge. I managed to save up enough money to add a little bit more to this particular month, but it still gave me the cushion necessary to operate for the entire month. So I'm not going to stress over that one. But I managed to get the rent paid. You know, before we actually had the COVID nightmare, you know how we made our payments? Out here, sorry, out here we have the ability to have bank accounts. We would have to pull money out. We would have to go to a place that had a money order and pay whatever kind of charges, either from 50 cents all the way to $1 or something like that, above the amount that you're making a money order for. And then walk it over to the management's office, have it in an envelope, plop it in, or hand it in. They process it right there. And no problem. When the COVID nightmare kicked in, we had to do things electronically. but there was always a convenience charge to it. The service that they picked out has been bumping up on the services left and right on how much money they're going to be pilfering out of us. But it was bad enough during the COVID nightmare that we had things stabilized enough where we were paying enough to keep it going, and we were still able to survive and live. At least I know I was trying to do that too. So, COVID nightmare is pushed aside now. You don't have to worry about anything. But corporate decided to keep the payment system as is. I mean, yeah, sure, if we want to do the financial payment hard copy, we can do that, but more convenient if we do it electronic. I imagine there's a few people out there who are doing the opt out just automatically, roughly around the first of the month, or in that period anyway. I have to keep remembering it every month because I want to make sure I'm in charge of this thing, okay? I don't want to screw things up. I want my accounting on this one. So I have to keep the accounting on this one. So every month I have to keep remembering. It's a thing that keeps my memory going. It's a thing that keeps me going on that one. Because once I get the rent done, then I got to worry about the other charges, and I got to start doing the balancing act, the same damn thing every month. But it's a mental game with me at this point. It's a mental game. And I discovered a long time ago I was doing algebra on this one. I didn't even realize it. There was a class I was taking back in AV college, Math for Liberal Arts. And one of the presentations we actually had, well, we had to do a class presentation at the end. That was a funnel. And one of the people in there were telling me, "You hated math that badly, but you're taking this class?" Yeah. But I had to do all these weird ass calculations things. And you're doing algebra. I'm like, say what? Me and math don't mix. And you're telling me I'm using algebra? Yeah, you're using algebra for this thing. Say what? Yeah. So when I figured out what they were talking about, I'm like, holy crap, I was doing this thing all that time. I'm not saying math is fun, but I'm getting it. Yeah. I never did like math in the first place. Math is in its higher concepts of zeros and ones and figuring things out with ways of calculating things, different formulae, would help us keep track of things well beyond us because math seems to be one of the languages, or the only language, that scientists would ever understand, especially physicists who are still trying to equate and still trying to come up with different theories on our reality, how we're viewing things, how we're looking at things in the universe, physically and beyond. And there are no calculations that we can actually figure out how to figure out quantum theory. We can try like crazy. I mean, it has to be a physicist or an astrophysicist to really understand the methods that they're doing. You really have to be a math whiz or a math geek on this one to understand quantum realms. But here, the writers, the fictional writers would use and dwell in this land. I know. I was dabbling with it for a while. And I'm still haunted sometimes because I'm still needed to be going back into the realm to complete a saga. But even in these sagas that we would have on paper or in whatever media that we're using, we are dabbling in the what ifs all the time. The quantum theory is basically of a what if, a decision that there's either a yes or no or a maybe. Or the other one is just say screw it. Or another decision at this point over here that creates boom, 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 boom. I mean, think of it as the pyramid. The apex is the originator. And basically, everything down below is decision or no decision or whatever is in between that sprouts off. We've been doing this damn thing since somebody else created a universe on us. The universe as is, that we can see it from our from observatories, telescopes, and stuff. We are seeing that the universe is a lot vaster in its physical realm as it is. We are seeing burnt out stars, or maybe they're still out there. But because of the vast distances out there, we're getting the light from them. That's a lot. That's a long time and distance for that energy to be transmitted into our brain cells through our eyeballs. Okay, but we're also talking about beyond the what ifs, and I was talking about the realms. In our fictional, we create all these realms, and we would, in our writings, would have our own patterns for these things. But the one particular realm that we keep dreaming like crazy is dreams itself. The dreams can be peaceful or they can be a royal frickin' nightmare. I've had a lot of those damn things. Now, people can try to quantify and qualify and try to sound, well, I think, and this might be it, and. Okay, well, they can say whatever they want. But for the guys or the person that's having a dream at that point over there, they're going to be looking at everybody else trying to make that leap of faith or conclusion one way or another and saying, and not even say a word. I mean, that's the saying. Just some of them just maybe like, I'm like, excuse me. I've had dreams. I've had dreams where I've had coming close to death too many times. I wake up screaming my head off, or wake up in a cold sweat. I've had dreams I didn't want to end. I've had dreams where my past would come into it. Not the past events I lived through, but people I knew coming in and out, especially my family. And I'd wanted those dreams to continue, and then they'll make a brief appearance, and then poof. But their presence is still there. I just didn't have to see it, and I may be on a hunt or a quest in there trying to find them. But I've also had other dreams triggered by other things that I've experienced in this realm. This mortal coil, this alertness that we have and functioning right now, that our five senses are working on. You know what they are? You know what the five senses are? We have our eyeballs, we have our nose, we have our tongue. That's three in it. Okay. So we have sight. Ah. We have taste. Ah. We have smell. But did I just hear anything? Ah, there's the fourth one. What's the fifth? My fingertips are freaking out left and right because I'm feeling my own fingertips. So that's got to be the fifth. But isn't there a sixth? Yeah, our gut instincts. Some people will classify it one way or another, but this is what it is. We have either mental telepathy or mental abilities. I would call it the sixth sense at that point over here, where our brain is using some kind of capacity to reach beyond our chemical senses that are trying to figure things out. And all these senses we have are derived and being driven into our squishy brain for analysis through electrical impulses that we have. Without this nervous system to transmit all this information, we don't know anything. We're just a squishy organ. That's about it. We don't know what the hell happened to us if somebody actually squished on our organ and it goes splat. Or maybe if Igor went into a hospital with our brains still in the container and takes the wrong out and we go splat on the floor. And then he goes for another one saying, Hans Delbrück, No, because this says Abby Normal on it. How's that one scared you? No, no, no. What scares me at this point over here is when I'm seeing some stuff that would scare the hell out of me. Imagine having a car driving up the peak, and I'm not talking about on just a road. I'm talking about up a peak of a mountain here, and then you're on the tip of it, and your family's in the front, but you're in the back. You make a wrong move, and the car goes, "Whoops!" I wake up screaming at that one because I don't want to. I don't want to die in the dream. There had been stories about this one. I don't know if they're legitimate or not. I've heard, and I don't know if I can confirm or not, that if people happen to die in a dream, they could probably die oh, in their sleep. I don't know if it's true or not, but I've been hearing this damn thing for all my life. I never, I don't think I've ever bothered to research dream, do any kind of dream research on this one to see whether or not that's true or not. But it is terrifying. I've had dreams where I've had my worst nightmare come across to me. Okay, try this one. Hold on to your hats on this one, boys and girls, including you, Daryl. No, 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 no. Space Academy TV show. The Seeker spaceship. If you want to do Google on this one. Type out Space Academy and then type out Seeker. Seeker. And then you'll see the ship. I need to see some liquid first. Thirsty work talking a great deal sometimes. Especially early in the morning when I'm still trying to wake up and I'm wondering what the hell I'm doing here in the first place. Okay, so you got the image? Okay, good. So this was the television show I grew up watching in the 1970s. Space Academy with Craig Little as Jason of Star Command. No, 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 that was a different show altogether. But they used the same big ship. Not maybe a little bit of the Seeker, but Space Academy itself. You can also type out Space Academy and see the big monster on it. That's a cool ass ship. That was kick ass. The Space Academy actually had Jonathan Harris as Commander Gamble. I didn't make up the names. And in the other show, Jason of Star Command, using the same big ass monster ship that they use, they had James Doohan in it for a bit. And then they had another actor in there who did a second season on that one. And they had a guy named, I remember the damn character name on this one. Jeez. I'm trying to remember Draco on this one. This guy was a real villain at this point over here, but he was loved by fans everywhere. Okay. Jason of Star Command. Okay, cast. That works for me. Okay, so Sid Haig was the villain in Jason of Star Command for 2 seasons at this point. And in Space Academy, there were cadets on there facing different things altogether. It was done by the company called Filmation. Now, Filmation had been doing cartoons since the 60s. I've been watching their cartoons until they ended up out in the 80s, and after Brave Star, they just went out of business. I mean, Brave Star was getting up there. Only one season, but I loved watching the damn thing. I don't care how preachy it got, but I loved watching it. But getting back to Jason and Star Command, and also getting back to Space Academy at this point. I mean, these things were just live action kids shows that we were watching. You talk about how these things kind of relate to our dreams and stuff. Well, there's a long way I'm taking on this one. See, I'm taking impulse engine. I'm not going to warp speed on this stuff. Besides, I like taking the long way around on this damn thing. You can do Google search and pick up the Wikipedia on this one and research some of the stuff. It's pretty damn interesting. What I'm looking right now, I think I found it. Here we go. Space Academy. Okay. Now, since I got the Space Academy on Wikipedia. So the big honking spaceship was supposed to be specialized cadets in the near future, about the 25th, 26th century, where this asteroid with star drive engines and light speed or something like that are educating kids in science and whatever they are, including how to fly spaceships. First episode they run into is a cast addition to it. A long kid, a young kid in there. See if I can find his ass in there. Oh, they really sucked on this one, didn't they? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I gotta do things the hard way. Yeah, what I'm doing right now is trying to get past a few things on here that I need to take a look at, including. Here we go. Alrighty. We had. Where the hell was the kid at? This doesn't work for me. Oh, you got to be joking me. Come on, guys. I can see the images. I'm trying to get the cast listed here of who and what they are because to me it matters. I know I'm way off the deep end on this one, but trust me, sometimes you have to go out the deep end on this one. Try not to drown on this one. So, we'll jump back to the Space Academy Seeker, the spaceship. I can just get the images in there. The ships, here we go. The Seeker. And they also had something similar to that effect when they made this big monster, Arc 2. That was a hell of a thing. Big ass RV monster with a mini car in the back and a kick ass backpack of a flying machine. That was fun enough. But seeing the Space Academy in itself was kick ass anyway. And this show was awesome during those days. Okay, so getting back to the Seeker spaceship there. Awesome as the little flighty thing was. You'd think it was just a mini RV or something like that. It had a weird ass control system in the thing, I'll tell you that much. It was pretty weird. I loved it. I'm just trying to get a few shots in here, so I'm saving it for screensavers. I love them. I even have the DVDs buried somewhere in my boxes over here, but I'll watch this damn thing. But this was the ship I had in my dream. This was the ship I had in my dream. And I'm flying through the universe, and I'm going over to a hotel or something similar to that effect. So yeah, I'm going to Space Academy Hotel and stay in that place. Next thing I know, the dream is becoming more like one of my relatives' home. Gets worse. The halls mutate into a hospital hallway. Modern age. Gets weird. Hold on. Hold on. Now, keep this in mind. If you guys have been watching the videos, you know me and the medical establishment are light years apart. Trusting or believing in the medical system that we've got right now, and with all the psychological claptrap going on inside of my head and the stuff I experienced in my youth, oh yeah, it just puts me in that kind of a lousy footing with these guys. Now, one of these days in my old age, I've got therapy going on. But I've got a fear of the medical establishment. And there is one character out there that would emulate that kind of fear. bring in Bugs Bunny's character, Witch Hazel, put her in a white nurse's uniform, complete with a cap on the top, the pointed hat that people would wear, and her laugh. She sees me with the syringe in her hand. She's cackling like Witch Hazel, a character in a Bugs Bunny show would. And the damn thing turns into a lance, sharp and pointy. And she's leveling it at me, and she's cackling her head off. And she starts running with the hairpins coming out of her head, just flying out. The chase is on. I'm running through corridor after corridor, and then maybe another room, trying to hide from this crazy woman. No, that's not. That's only the train going through this morning. That's the two. I think the 1:30 or 2 o'clock train. So I finally get cornered in an examination room. There's a table. Actually, there's an examination table. No, I take that back. It was an operating table, steel. Oh God, damn thing gets mutated in my dreams sometimes. And I'm leaning against it, and she's got this lance that turns back into a syringe. She's getting to my arm, pulls it out, and she's laughing her head off as she's just about to put it through the skin. I wake up screaming my head off. I'm a young kid. I'm a preteen screaming his head off. During that time, it was every time I kept going into the doctor's office, my blood pressure would be going skyrocketing at this point. It would be going nuts on this one. Even up to my adult life, where I'm avoiding the doctors like the plague. The therapist, I'll talk to them about it. They say I'm making progress, making decisions about it. Yeah, every time I keep coming up to the appointment, I'm pushing it, I'm pushing it, I'm pushing it. Meanwhile, my body's telling me, why are you doing this? You need to take care of yourself a lot better. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm running away. Yeah. If there was any alternative dimensions or any alternative decisions, maybe I would have been the braver person and going to the doctor's office and toughing it out. I'm sorry, the reality is on that one. I've had other dreams where I've had a nuclear nightmare that damn near fried my ass off, almost to the point where I'm seeing myself like in the Terminator 2 movie. Linda Hamilton comes up to this playground. She sees herself and a kid playing in the playground. Linda Hamilton, the warrior, is trying to yell and scream at both of these people to get out of there, duck for cover, something like that. She's pounding on a fence line. So the mother and the kid are looking up at the warrior form of Linda Hamilton, and like, okay, no problem. And then there's boom, thermonuclear cloud. And in that movie portion of it, Linda Hamilton wakes up screaming, or almost, because she just got fried. Got turned into a skeleton because of a nuclear nightmare. Yeah, well, that wasn't my dream. My dream was after watching the movie the day after, I woke up screaming my head off because I just saw a nuclear flash on a television screen, and then everything else in the house just went. Talk about your alternative realities out there. The fears, the phobias come in even in the forms of animal creatures, snakes, and crustaceans. Yeah, I hate that. I also hate insects. You talk about your alternative dimensions at this point over here in your dreams. You wake up in the morning and wondering whether or not you're actually real or not. because sometimes those dreams will be coming across as real, or just about, because you can almost feel everything. Of course, in my dreams, everything is incomplete. I don't have detailed information. I could be in a bus and half the bus is not there. Seriously. The front of the bus is not there. But I got a driver and I got people in the back of the bus I can remember. But in the front of the bus, it's empty air. But we're driving in a bus. Go figure. So, how does that grab you for alternate dimensions and everything else going on? I hope I bored the crap out of you. Right now, I think I'll be chewing on some other thing right now because I've gone over the edge in the time zone. So, here we go.